and live scene. Red candles. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Thanks for joining, hanging out with us this morning. Yep, this thing's on. All right. So we had a red candle. Now it's flipped to green. We're right at R1. NASDAQ looking much heavier than SPY. Let's take a look at the top 10. Apple, red candles. Microsoft, red. Amazon's red. Tesla had a red candle. They're trying to buy it up. Google, sideways. So pretty much a lot of the same flat action. Green candles on SPY forming here. XLF was red. Where's all this green coming from at SPY? There it is. Healthcare, XLV, way high. XLY popped up green as well. XLK is up there, but flat. But right now, SPY definitely much more green than NQ. NQ right now is actually coming down. Red candles while SPY is up. So a little divergence here on the NASDAQ and the futures. Hey, what's up, Melee? How you doing? Known to be no one. What's happening? All right, so trading room right here. Let's take a look. That's just a random white line. I deleted it. I don't even know why it's there. Hey, look at this green action. Look at that. So now that NASDAQ's coming along here, we'll see how that goes. Right now, the rates, 1.933. We popped up 1.94, 1.95, and now we're settling around 1.93. Bonds right now, they popped up here just into the open, now flat. A lot of green action here on SPY. TLT now is not really moving all that much. Look at the big gap down on VIX, 20.31. NASDAQ still not as bullish as SPY. Little divergence. Now it's starting to come along here. Good morning, good morning. No trades yet, Lawrence. No trades yet. But we're looking. I usually don't play the first few minutes, especially when the volatility is shaking a lot. VIX coming down. 2049. We've already popped it, though. We've already blasted through there. I need to find a next pivot. If you see, that was a considerable pivot right there. We had there and there. Coming down, though, man. We haven't been this low since early January. So there are the next two pivots, 20.04, 19.69, as we're coming along there. Let me shrink that just a touch, zoom in, get these things right. All right. Man, these candles are shaking around a lot. XLF had a nice little green top wick here, and we're just going to settle in, let this thing do its thing. There's plenty of time in the day. What calls am I looking at? Great question. By the way, the YouTube video is recorded. All I got to do is edit it today, and I'll have it posted by the end of the day. So if you were interested about yesterday's trade, that is coming. Unfortunately, I was held up because I've got 80,000 dump trucks in front of my truck, and they were all beeping and screaming and loud, so I couldn't do as much work this morning as I wanted to. My office is right in front of the is in the front of the house, so no bueno. All right, so February 9th, contracts. I'm going to start out on 0 DTE long calls. Right now, let's do 45.70s, and let's do 45.40s for puts. 45.70 calls, 45.40 puts. Noticeably, the premiums are noticeably cheaper, with the VIX being down here on 20. Noticeably cheaper. So, watch list. I'm going to start out with the 9th. Let's do 45.70 calls. 45.40 puts. If you're trading SPY, let's do 453 calls. I'm sorry, puts. Let's do 457 calls. 453 puts. And I will be trading 0 DTE until otherwise stated. In terms of spreads, I will also be doing 0 DTE, and I'll be tranching in for Friday expirations for my Friday iron condors. Continuing the tranche for the trades for Friday. All right. Like I said, you don't have to play the exact play I'm playing. You can play the February 11th, which I will be switching to the February 11th after the first of the morning. You know me, I don't. When I'm playing zeros, I'm playing very, very careful. In and out. I don't hold. I'm just getting that gain and I'm getting out. If it's a little too volatile, definitely we'll switch to the 11th. As long as we can get some volume on the trade. So trade what you want. Trade what you're comfortable. Am I in Ottawa? No, I'm not in Ottawa. Not in Ottawa. Good morning. Good morning. I took the early CCS on that for 50 cents. Nicely done. Nicely done. All right, so we had this green, red, green R1. The top resistance here is R5, which is also the strongest of the resistance. I wasn't able to really pick out an R4 through R1 strong one because they're all strong. There's a crap ton of resistance right in this range, which is why I'm saying we have to be careful with this upward mobility until bulls really step in and blast this thing. So right in here, there's a lot of congestion with orders. We need to negotiate this on the way up here, and the sellers aren't going to be willing to let this thing just rocket today. So I would anticipate all of these R's playing at stronger levels, with the strongest of them being R5. If you notice, the range of the resistances are greater. The absolute value is greater than or I should say, the delta between R5 and R1 is greater than or smaller than the S1 through S5. That's because there is so much congestion up here that I wanted to keep things tight. Now, on the downside, there's a little less congestion. So if we do downturn, there's going to be less resistance to fall. Green action here on the NASDAQ, and the VIX is still holding bottom pivot. No trades just yet. I'm just going to let things shake out here. Let's take a look at the top 10 again. People are saying Microsoft is popping out the top. That's true. Facebook. All right, let's take a look at one thing here. Let's go back to January 11th real quick. On SPY, not Facebook. I don't care about Facebook. It didn't work. All right, stupid trading view. Cool. All right, where are we at? All right, here we go. So this was January 11th, the day before CPI. It was similar expectations. We had a gap up, trickle down. Obviously, we're getting more bullish action here, but we dumped in the morning, and then we rallied into the afternoon. All day long, we rallied. And this was the day of the CPI release. So CPI was released early in the pre-market. We went sideways, and then we crashed. So I'm curious to definitely see how the action is going to play out today with CPI being expected at 7.2%. I would be surprised to see a launch bull rally sustained throughout the entire morning without some sort of red pullback because of this data, unless the market's already pricing in way better than expected CPI data. Sean says, when I started this trading journey, you seemed to be hard against 0DT. What caused you to change your opinion and start trading? My confidence in my system started to give me a little more ability to play zeros. Now, that doesn't mean I'm holding all day long and trying to go for 100% gains on zeros. I think with my trading abilities, I'm able to capitalize on the effectiveness of zeros and my ability to not take big losses. So I'm treating them very delicately. When I trade zeros, I'm in and out. Like, I'm not looking for 80%. I'm looking for, can I get in and out of position at an opportune time and get me a quick 30%, 20%, 10%. That's it. I will trade them when the conditions are right for it, and then I'll switch back to the 2 or 3 or 4 days when applicable. But I'm not doing them all the time. I'm kind of fluctuating in and out, popping in and out. I think the best balance is 1 to 2 day DTE. One, I guess day, it's redundant. 2 DTE is like 1 to 2 is the best sweet spot with zeros thrown in there. So yeah, with the higher my confidence get in my abilities, the more I want to play those just to capitalize on some gains. I'm waiting for the morning to set, which is pretty much common. Sometimes I'll play the morning session, but not often. I'm going to let this thing shake out here. I'm going to watch the NASDAQ. We have a little red coming in here. We have an early morning pop with some of the big names here in tech, and we'll see if that holds. We've got another 20 minutes here until it sets. All right, green up to R2, and we'll just keep on climbing up here. If we do start the crazy rally, obviously I'm not going to miss out on some opportunity and sit here and wait for 10:05. That's my desire, but I'm not going to sit here and do that. So let's see what happens. Took 453s, nice. See these wicks? Look at that big wick right there, man. Look at that big wick on NASDAQ. I don't want to get caught in volatile reversals. The first 30 minutes, the last 30 minutes, it's hard to nail down any kind of analysis because the candles are so volatile. The buyers and the sellers have this ramped up energy from overnight, and they're pounding each other. So it's hard to really get into some decent analysis in the first 3 minutes, in the first 30 and the last 30. That's why you have to play small position sizes here. And that's what I'm looking. Look at that big reversal on the NASDAQ, 14,920 on the red candles and top wick on SPY, just under R2, and flat on the NASDAQ. So definitely the SPY is more bullish. XLF right now is continuing to climb. For those who didn't see, the new episode of the Making Millionaires Podcast dropped this morning. I think it's one, obviously I talk about emotions a lot. Even my wife tells me, hey, you got to stop talking about emotions all the time. People are going to get sick of you. And I get it. But unfortunately, that's a huge part that it's lacking. The amount of content and education around emotions is lacking. So I guess I talk about it a lot. Yeah, give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Take a listen. New YouTube video will drop this afternoon. Once I come off stream, I'll finish up the editing and I'll have that posted. Yeah, I'm seeing these comments like about, it's people seeing my system adapt and change, and absolutely, man. I would be a fool not to adjust and learn from the people in here and like veteran and other people too. I mean, I'm not going to stand on my pedestal and say, hey, my system is amazing. I'm profitable, so I'm never going to change. So, yeah, it's always good to adapt and change. As long as your foundation is concrete and set, you can change. People renovate their house every 10 years. Same thing. Do some renovations, tidy things up, change out those floors. Get you some new appliances. That's all I'm doing is I'm renovating my house, making it better and better and better. We got some major top wicks here. Look at the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ. Interesting to me that the NASDAQ is dumping this much with this strength. I bet you the Apple's rolling over. Yeah, look at Apple blowing out the bottom. Careful here. Is your podcast on Spotify? Negative, although that is the goal. Once I get the website up and running and I have a little more ability to share content with you all, I will be looking at popping out the podcast on Spotify. Hey, red candles. I'm actually going to be helping my wife build her first podcast too. My wife has an awesome personality. She's actually a jokester herself, and she's got a lot of awesome stories. She's a ER. She was an ER nurse. She's been a director of ER operations for a number of years, 7, 8 years. So she's got a lot of awesome stories and intertwined with some dark humor, some good humor. So she's going to start her own little fun podcast. So I'll let you know if y'all are interested in that. Anyway, waiting for the first play here. Little top wick at R2. And NASDAQ is coming on down. VIX is trying to negotiate 2054 at the moment. This first pivot, 2049. What's the program used? You are looking at TradingView. I execute on IBKR and E-Trade. If you all know, my opinion of E-Trade is starting to diminish. I actually spent a good amount of time setting stuff up and tweaking IBKR this morning for the video I'll be making on that. IBKR is incredibly customizable. It's actually a fantastic tool. And then, so I execute on those two, and I trade off of TradingView. Thanks, Terry. You're very welcome. Appreciate you being here. Anything against TOS? No. No. I've never used them, so I can't speak on it. I've tried to use them, and they kind of jacked up my deposit. But other than that, no, I've got nothing against them. I've never used Fidelity either. Never. I have used Charles Schwab, helping some. I've never used it myself, but well, I have, but it wasn't my account. I was helping some people trade on Charles Schwab. What an absolute dumpster fire! I don't know how anybody trades on Charles Schwab. It's ridiculous. Anyway, look at NASDAQ tanking. Watch the SPY here, as we might come on down. I'm gonna look. Hey, I'm gonna look at 45.50 puts. How about that? Let's take a look at some puts. 45.50 puts. Just in case this thing rounds over with NASDAQ. It's starting to look a little heavy here. Let's see. 45.50, February 9th. Currently trading for $12.50 each. If this starts to round over, SPY is very bullish while the NASDAQ is dumping. That is why. Look at that. XLF. Look at that right there. XLF is beasting out the top. Absolutely beasting. But here's the thing. With NASDAQ being this heavy, one of the two things are going to happen. NASDAQ is going to start to play ball, and then SPY is really going to pop out the top. Or XLF is going to fail, fill this gap back down, and then we're going to come back down to earth with SPY, and we're going to tank. So I'm looking at right now 45.60 puts on, 45.60 puts on February 9th contracts. We'll see what happens. I'll let you know if I enter. I'll pre-type out a Patreoner call out here. I think it's advantageous here. I'm going to bring, instead of VIX, I'm going to bring up, although VIX is green here, I'm going to bring up XLF to watch them, because if XLF breaks down, it's going to be Tank City, baby. Tank City. I've got my preview order up and ready to go. All I got to do is hit send, and we are in the position. I currently got a $14 limit put in there. It's currently trading for $12.75. That gives me some wiggle room. In case this thing starts to move, I can get in quickly. Get in quickly. Country road, take me home. Get ready. Get ready. 45.60 puts. Oof, man, look at XLF coming down. Look at X. Look at XLF breaking down. What are we going to do? Now Qs are bouncing just a touch. 45.60 right now at 13.50. Now 13. Now 13.25 on the February 9th. Roughly 4.55. 4.55, 40.56. Oh, that's why. I've got futures up. That's why. I've got the ES up there, and I'm sorry. 45.60s for SPX are now $10. My bad. I still on my futures account. No positions yet, so I'm glad y'all caught that. Yeah, so now SPX 45.60s, 10.80, 10.90, now $11. That's what I got. Hey, breakdown. All right. If we break down VWAP, we might test the bottom of the AM range here. It's not quite breaking down yet. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to get in. I want this thing to come through VWAP. I don't want to buy on a VWAP bounce and get smoked right off the bat. There's the red candles. And there's the flush right there. Watch the NASDAQ here. So, interesting divergence. Now SPY is starting to catch up. XLF is going to start to roll over just a touch. NASDAQ still breaking down here. Country road. All right. What's this next candle doing? We're still right at VWAP here. That's why I'm being very delicate with this position. So we're right here at VWAP. There's a flush. I'm not quite liking this setup. I'm seeing a little bit of resistance here both across the board. That's why I'm not entering. We're not quite getting the flush. That's why I'm not entering this put here. I don't really like this. It's not really tickling my fancy here. So I'm going to let things shake out. We got another, 10 minutes until the morning range is set. I've got 45.60 puts up right now in SPX. This time it is SPX. They're currently trading for $11.20 each. And it looks like we got a little green candle. Yeah, the morning is definitely a lot of fake outs. That's why I like to wait until we get that morning shakeout. What are the yellow lines representing? That is Veterans Morning Session Range. So we talk about that a lot. I won't go into the details about it, but what it is the morning high and the morning low between market open and 10:05 Eastern Time. We talk about a lot of that stuff and the strategy behind how to use that in the Tier 4 channel. It's a fantastic, fantastic indicator. It tells us when, how, and where the market wants to move. What's the SPY equivalent? Oh, man. I can get you the exact number here. I do my little calculations. 45.60 puts. 455s. Do the 455s. Would be the equivalent. Exit a put for 12%. Nicely done. right, let's take a look at my CCSs. I think I might close out all my PCSs with this little pop. Most of them are up pretty high right now. I've got a lot of PCSs open right now. $4,600. All right, you know what? I'm going to take puts off the table here, unless we break down below. If we do break down below, right, I'm going to bring up 45.70 calls on SPX. I'm not trading them. I'm just bringing them up. NASDAQ is at the bottom of their range. We've got 8 minutes until the morning range is set. We could, and normally, it's a high chance that we do have just one more pop out at the bottom before we actually bounce and go on up there. So that's what I'll be watching. What is a PCS? A put credit spread. That is why when you sell a put and you buy a put at the same exact time, you sell a put that's closer to the money, you buy a put that's further away from the money, and you get a net credit. That's premium writing, theta play. A little bit different strategy than longing puts here. That's right, Hugh. That's right. All right, so another little red candle here. We got 7 minutes here. QQQ, red. What are the top 10 doing here? A lot of bottom wicks, a lot of flatness, but some red regardless. Indecision. Nvidia's there. They're doing okay. NASDAQ. And the VIX. Look at the VIX. Getting a little green. Ooh. Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks for being here. Hey, I'm glad you liked it. Let me know if you got any other suggestions or recommendations for a podcast content. I'm always up for recommendations. All right, here we go. Bottom wick candle green. We're almost at the 10:05 just prior, and we're getting a little bit of a bounce here. Can we keep going? If we lose the 455 on the 3-minute, we should flip bearish. I would agree with that for the morning session, not for the entire day. I think in order to flip bearish for the entire day, we would have to take out 453 or lower in order for us to start to get into some selling action, really break us down. But for the morning, yeah, I'd be okay with that. I'm making that. CPI data comes out tomorrow, 08:30 Eastern Time. I will be having my futures up and ready to go around that time. Maybe I can get me another rogue fill on some crazy volatility. Yep. Yeah, I still have that fill. They never took it back. All right, NASDAQ is trying to base here. I do have calls up 45.70s. February 9th, currently trading for $13.90. Do I trade the Qs too? Occasionally I trade the Qs. It's been a hot minute since I traded the Qs. Normally, I'm just so focused on SPX, SPY that I don't bother even trading them. All right, I'm about to place a preemptive strike on some calls here. We're about 4 minutes away. Things are basing out nicely. I want to take a look. Ooh, all right, I'm taking calls. Let's see here. I like the way this is setting up. Let me navigate this order form. Oh, man. Missed the fill. 14.1, missed the fill. All right, modify. Love it. And off to the races we go. Darn it. I think we should probably go higher. Probably go higher. Yep. Definitely we need to break out the top here. However, I was trying to play a call to the top. Look at Apple though. We need to see if we got a follow-on candle with Apple here, and the rest of tech, looking nice and juicy here. Yeah, you can go with 457s on SPY. Nope, I don't chase. On that kind of movement, I don't chase. If it's a trend, yeah, I'll kind of chase it. But on that kind of movement, no. Because that was such a big, quick movement. That's a good way for it to be reversed. So I don't want to chase it, buy it up here, and then with this candle comes on back down, and now instead of just a missed fill, now I'm in the hole 10-15%. So no, I don't want to chase that. Plenty of opportunity today. Nice era. Correct. 457s on SPY. I'm going with the 4570s on SPX. Took a quick $100 on your call. Nice. Well done. Yeah, VIX, NASDAQ, and I had Apple up as well. I was watching Apple because Apple was very red. Apple had a nice big healthy bounce, and I figured all tech was going to be doing the same. So it was four different data points that was telling me to take calls there. Yep. Trust me, I hate getting instantly reversed. It's one of my biggest pet peeves. I hate it. So I definitely do not want to chase. Did $100 on your call. Hey, nice. Well done. What's the time for my charts? Currently looking at the 3-minute. This candle needs to pop up here, otherwise we could run the risk of coming down. I want to see a little bit of breakup to really start forming a bullish stance. Right now, I'm pretty much neutral. I'm not sold on anything right now. Looking at some potential 0 DTE theta plays as we speak as well. There's some red. Nope, I didn't get any calls. I tried to. I just missed a fill. I bought 5 0 DT puts for 450 strike. Nice. I'm not looking. I will be looking at CCSs later, but not right now. Just until right now, I'm thinking the market goes a little higher, at least in the late morning, early afternoon. So I'm not looking at CCSs yet, but I will. How do you decide what price to set your order at to optimize chance to fill? I'm just trying to ask. It depends how much I want to get in the position. If I really want to get in that position, I'll pay the ask every time. I'm always trying to go for mid price, which is right in between the mid and or the bid and the ask. For that position there, as the price was coming down, I was setting the bid a little bit above where I wanted to be. So like I think they were what? 14, they were like 10, 11, $12 as it's coming down here. I chose a $14 fill to try to get in, and it popped too quick. When I tried to get 14, and I did 14.10, it was up, or it made a blasted pass and went to like 15 and a half. So I definitely didn't want to chase there. Made 15 or 13%. Nice, Vinny. All right, and there's some green coming back up. XLF. Nice green healthy pop there in XLF. So I did take a theta play right there. I posted that in the OM Theta channel as we are coming back up. I'm going to bring the VIX down here at the bottom after looking at that play, coming back off, and things are looking nice. Looking nice. So there is a lot of pent-up volatility here. There's a lot of expectations of movement because of CPI. So in terms of spreads, I want to be in and out quick. I'm not necessarily looking to hold those things till expiration. Scalps and maybe an afternoon play or a morning play to hold those out. I don't want to be too greedy on those things. It could get a little crazy. Let's see if we can break out the top of the range. 456.21 in SPY. The VIX needs to pop below here. I'd like to see this start to trickle down to lows, and maybe we can get a little oomph now that NASDAQ and kind of SPY are starting to work together. Like I said, not eyeballing any upward CCSs at the moment, at least for today. I just finished watching an educational series. Did you change your strategy since those videos? Because I don't squeeze. Yeah, that 91% video is a bit outdated, I'll tell you. That's a great foundational video, like an explanation of a couple of different technical indicators, but I have adapted a few things since then. So, yeah, eventually in the upcoming weeks/months, I'll be going exclusively towards IBKR. So be ready for that if you are an E-Trade trader. Still holding the top of this range off of R1. VIX still holding sideways. All right, let's talk strategy. Since I am in this PCS, it's still, I mean, we're at my CCS is 70 points out. So, or sorry, put credit spread is 70 points out. What happens if we start to tank? What do I do until now and then? At what point do I cut it loose? If I start to see big bearish flows start to come through here and blast out the bottom, what I'm going to be looking to do is starting to hedge greatly. And today I'll play SPX because it's early, and I'll start throwing in some futures spreads, or I'm sorry, puts, just so I can hold into the post-market hours if need be. Nice healthy red candle there. Can I explain what's going on with E-Trade? Yeah, definitely. So with E-Trade, when you start playing spreads and long positions together at the same time, it starts getting a little wonky. You have to have enough buying power to close out all your positions because you're buying back your short legs. So you have to have buying power to buy those back. I had more than enough buying power, obviously. I had more than enough cash, and I was holding spreads, and I had executed some long positions. So I went to go close out the long positions, and it kept giving me the error, insufficient funds to close out the position. I'm like, what are you talking about? And this has happened like 6 times. So I screenshotted everything. I called him up. He's like, well, sir, usually you get that notification when you don't get insufficient funds. I say, yeah, well, here's my account. Go look. And he goes, oh, well, I don't really know why it's doing that. And he won't refund. You know, he won't compensate. He won't do anything like that. So it's like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. So, yeah. It's happening too often. You're very welcome. Chopping in a range. Not much going on. Not much going on. Exactly. And that's why it was incredibly frustrating. It's incredible. And then, having to waste time 40, 30, 40 minutes on the phone with them is terrible. No trades just yet. Just waiting. Nice, healthy red action off the top of the range. XLF is still green. So where's all this coming from? It looks like tech. Again, Microsoft. Look at that, giving back its gains. New lows on Microsoft. That's no good. Amazon trying to test that big crazy candle we had in the pre-market. Do you think when you enter spreads, it might take your focus away from longs because you might be focused on managing your spreads? Oh, I mean that's definitely a possibility, but I'm trying to be, and I'm very much attuned to that and aware of that. Would you say you're more long or short biased? I feel like I focus more on the short side, needing to get better at playing both sides. Oh man, I mean I love scalping. I love scalping and day trading. So I guess I'm biased more towards long positions, but you got to do both. You want to have as many tools in your chest as possible, and so that's it. Looking for a move. I'll play one way or the other. Break down or break up. Break sideways. Yeah. When do I enter Iron Condor? Is that what you're asking? I see. How do you balance between minimizing position size risk and trying to hit reasonable profits while not over trading? I mean, there's not really a great answer for that. I mean, honestly, I think it's just experience, trusting my system. The more data points you have that are great data, not technical indicators, but data, and then your experience, is when you start to be able to turn on and off risk. When do I open Iron Condor? Great question, Lawrence. So I spend the entire week building my Iron Condor. I take a preliminary Iron Condor on Monday, and then I continue tranching Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday. How often do you take profits and what percentages? In fact, I'm actually probably going to close all my PCSs today because most of them are up 80, 90%. So yeah. Normally, it depends. It depends on the risk. It depends on the day. If I take a position and if I take a spread and it goes 50, 60% profit that day, most likely, I'm going to take it off the table. It's just not worth holding the risk of a possible reversal the next day. I'm not going to hold out for the extra 34% credit. I'll take the profits and I'll be happy with my day. XLF still going up. VIX coming on down. Yes, and yes, I am, Chris. That's a great question. In fact, I don't even have any CCSs open right now. I closed my one single CCS when I opened the day I opened it. So it's all PCSs. Do I pay attention to patterns? The only pattern I pay attention to is trend patterns. I do not touch, the cup and handles or the wedges or all that crap. They're very subjective. So I only pay attention to trend lines. That's it. If you can even call that a pattern. Do you think it's a good start to first learn to day trade SPY common? Yes and no, man. It all depends on who you are as a trader. There has been a huge increase in interest in options this year, and it's awesome. I love it. But people treat options as kind of like a lotto ticket because you get a lot greater returns on options than you do on stocks. Just the common. So I would, it all depends. As long you could trade them the same way. You just have to respect them because you can blow up an account very easily. You know, if you're a gambler, then you could blow up your account with stocks, but it's going to take a lot longer than you would with options. So it all depends. Hey, hey, hey. What's up, little guy? What's up, little red candle? Let's take a look at XLF. I bet that thing's coming down. Look at that. XLK. Nice. All right. All right. Nice, healthy red engulfing candle. New low or testing coming down lows the morning low. Nasdaq or the XL. What is this? XLK's new low there. I got charts all over the place. Nasdaq had a new low and popped back in the range, and VIX big green. So, how do you tell yourself now's the time to cut a trade? When is it placing out to your thesis? Because like yesterday, prime example, R2. I was holding that position above R2. If it closed below R2, I'm out. I kind of set visual lines in the sand. So when the position goes against me, when my thesis fails, I get out. Now you have to be mature enough and disciplined enough to follow your rules. Otherwise, you're just lollygagging around. Yeah, if you're trading margin, you can blow up an account very fast with stocks. Very fast. Yes, I will. I'll be trading pre-market with features tomorrow. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jay. Thanks for being here. All right, so we had a little buyer saving grace. That was an egregious dip, and it's being bought gently. There's not all that much of a rally here, but more flat action here. Buyers and sellers are still fighting things out, figured out what needs to happen. All right, just give me a second here. I'm going to start managing some positions for Friday. Just bear with me a moment. I only have two hands. Let's see. Alrighty. Okay. Little green right here. Not all that much going on. So Nasdaq is definitely, and the thing to be aware of here is that the Nasdaq has kind of got this trend here, but SPY is pretty much flat. You can kind of see the line right there is basically flat with the Nasdaq. So XLF is very bullish. It's holding up SPY. If XLF does downturn, it could be a little dicey here. So definitely something to be aware of. All right. Yeah, I'll be live 8:30. I won't be on. I won't be on stream unless something goes crazy. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, but I will be trading futures, getting ready for CPI. Do I think it's intentional on E-Trade's part? I mean, I don't know. I can't speculate on that. I don't want to get hit with a nice little defamation lawsuit from E-Trade. Oh man, that candle was holding up and then smashed. Booyah. All right, man. It's gonna be dicey. Look at that candle on the VIX. I think we might be getting ready. In fact, hey, look at that green candle. It's crazy. Trading futures on stream sounds amazing. Yeah. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. Lightweight. Interesting candle. So we had a little green smash down, immediately bought. So the buyers are still defending R1. They're still defending R1. Theta burn type of day. Could this take 30% and let it run a ride? Yeah, buddy. NASDAQ coming along. VIX red. Still shaking and baking. The only trade I've got is Theta. No long positions yet. Try to get a call. Missed the fill. We'll see. And I don't think I'm really going to take a call here until I see a breakout the top or yet another fall and then bounce off R1. But look at this. Nice little green candles. Country road. Alrighty. Now we are cooking with gas. That is the biggest bull candle on NASDAQ of the day. We might have a little bit of an official bounce here. We will see. This tells me, what does this tell you? Let's do some analysis on some price action. When I see these candles bottom wicking bound down and smashing upwards, what does that tell you? There's a demand zone right here. So all that's saying is the buyers are willing to negotiate that price. That is market value for buyers. So they're going to buy that price and smash it up. Now, until we negotiate this zone, that is seller zone right there. That's telling you the sellers want to take that off. That's too high for buyers. So the buyers are going to continue to let those go. Sellers are going to sell it off, and down we go. We need to eat through those selling orders and get back up there to bring market value up, because right now we're just chopping in a tight range. Just a little visual aid. We will be looking at a range day. I mean, not to state the obvious, it's a range day until it's not. You know, it's kind of, we need to be able to break that upwards, but it's going to take the whole market to do that. Like I said, there's a lot of resistance between R1 and R4. R1 and R4, there's a crap ton. Think about, it's like a traffic jam of buyers, and we're going to have to release the constriction point to let that traffic start to flow upwards. I have been trying to find your support and resistance levels in your Discord. Yeah, I post them in the OM analysis channel. It's reserved for Patreoners, obviously, but yeah, come check us out. John Madden over here. Boom. I wish I could do the marker on the screen. Actually, I do have a Surface Pro coming that I'll be able. I think I might be able to do that actually. I'm sure that because you could actually write on the screen and stuff. All right, this next candle will be pretty important. Let's see if we can break out the top and the bullish will take control, or we're just going to stay back inside the range. So, all right, but you know what time it is? It's protein 30. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Expect a big candle. I'm out. I'll be back. All right, no such move just yet. No such move just yet. But I do want to go over something with y'all. And the volatility here. So let's come down to the VIX right here. So here's the VIX. I do have my pivots. They're on the other chart, not on this one. But right now, the VIX is pretty much trading flat. Pretty much trading sideways here. What I want to see, not even just a big, yeah, I mean, a move on the VIX would be very telling for sure. But what I want to see to really form a bearish or bullish thesis is either a trickle down, which would be a red candle for the VIX, or this little grind up action here. It needs to start forming a trend. When I start to see that, especially the great thing happen when the great thing that'll happen is when this starts to happen and the market doesn't move yet. So we kind of get maybe this action starts to trickle up, 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 up. SPY doesn't move, and then bam, VIX goes and SPY pops down, blast down on this case because VIX would be going up. Or this little trickle down here, and then we get this flush, and then boom, that's when that big pop happens. So it's kind of like a coiled snake. We want to slap that snake. So I'm going to put SPY up top here. Might have had a little too much coffee this morning. There's NASDAQ right in the middle. Hey, we got a little green action here as I was kind of, look, see, we got that big red action on the VIX coming down, and now we've popped in the top of the range. Let's see if we can pop out the top, baby. Oh, yeah. Got a good little move here on my PCS. I'm going to let this thing go a little bit. I may actually close this baby shortly to take the risk off the table. Off the table. Yes, absolutely, Shafro. It's definitely helpful for news. Green candles. All right. So here's why it's so important. Like I want you all to learn spreads in addition to long plays because there wasn't a lot of great, yeah, you could scalp a lot of long plays, but it was kind of indecisive. But now I've got a nice PCS running on me. I'm making some great money, and I'm kind of sitting on my hands. So learn to play both. There are times to deploy spreads. There are times to deploy long options. The biggest regret I have as a trader, well, no, not the biggest, one of the biggest regrets I have as a trader is that I took too long to learn premium writing. In my mind, it was like, oh no, you have to have $1 million to do that. You have to be very smart to trade premium or to write premium, but you don't. And when you start learning how to trade premium, your mind starts to work better. You start to become a better trader because you start to understand the deep side of trading, the other side of trading, why things happen. You have to realize big money is writing premium. So you have to think as a premium writer to anticipate market movement. The billion-dollar hedge funds, they're also writing premium. So what happens when they're writing premium? What happens when they are selling calls and the price is going up like it does today, or it goes on a 3 or 4 day bullish rally? What happens when big money has to write calls? They have to buy the stock to cover their losses. So what happens when big money, billions of billion-dollar corporations, billion-dollar hedge funds are writing calls and they have to protect those calls by buying a crap ton of shares? What happens? Boop. Squeeze. So when you start to understand writing premium, you start to understand how the market or why the market moves. It'll help you be a better trader. Tier 2. Actually, Tier 2, you get to learn spreads. If you want a really hands-on approach, Tier 4 will be a fantastic method. You will learn from the best spread trader out there. The dude, veteran, I can't stress it enough. The dude, he's traded funds with 9 zeros. I'm talking hundreds of millions of dollars this dude has managed. So if you want to learn from a real Wall Street style trader, then sign up for Tier 4 because you will learn from the best. Do you have a video on writing premium? Yes, I have 2 videos. Go into the OM videos channel, and I'll put that right there. And look at those 2 credit spread writings. What is Tier 4? Tier 4, we just started it in February. It's a It's a group session with veteran. He's got his own dedicated tier 4 channel. He's given specific market calls, and I don't mean plays, but directional moves. Like, hey, the market's about to bounce here, that type of thing. At certain times, at certain levels, based on key data. And the dude is rarely wrong. If he is wrong, he will teach you how to manage positions. He'll teach you how to manage your positions. It's interactive and live that he'll talk with you. And the dude is phenomenal. Like, he's got the heart of a teacher, which is big for me. You know, I mean, my first rule of the community is have a heart of the teacher. Fantastic. You know, most people in the room made their fee up in one day. So, highly recommend it. What is a PCS? Put credit spread. It's a put credit spread. Let's go over a little dynamic live discussion about put credit spreads. How about that? All right. I'm going to mute my levels just for 1 second. Let's go SPX. All right, SPX is 45.77. So I think, let's just say, I think SPX will not pop 4,600 today. It will not go over 40. It will not close over 4,600 today. So what am I going to do? I'm going to sell a call, and I'm going to make that red because I'm selling it. I'm going to sell a call right here. I'm going to call this short call. Some people call it writing. Some people call it selling. I'm just going to call it a short call. All right, so what makes it a spread is that I'm going to do a 25 wide spread. So at 46.25, we're going to buy a call as well. And we'll call that long call. So what I've done here, I've bought a call. And let's say the short call premium let's just call it, I don't know, it's $5. I'm just pick a so let's say that short call is $5. The premium in your broker is $5. And once again, we'll label that red. Let's say the long leg, the premium, because it's further away from the money, it's going to be cheaper. Let's say that's $2. And we'll label that, and we'll change that to green. So this premium, $5. This premium, $2. You get a net credit of $3. And we'll change that to yellow. So your net credit is $3. Why? 5 minus 2 is 3. Your net credit is $3. So I am going to write that premium. I'm going to get a $3 credit. If you do one of these, you get $300. If you do 10 of these, you get $3,000. So it's a credit that you want to do on these things. Now, if you do a 0 DTE, like today, if you did this for February 9th, 2022, as long as SPX closes the day below 4,600, you collect 100% of that premium. That's called a call credit spread. It's a bearish position because you think the price is not going to go above 4,600. You want the price to be outside the money on your short leg. Now, if SPX decides to do this, you're going to face huge losses. So you have to know how to defend a spread, because this, you can face $30, $40, $50,000 losses without any kind of management. That's just raw. You know, if you don't manage it, that's what the losses you could face. Now, just flip this to the downside if you want to look at a PCS. PCS is the puts closer and the long legs further away. So I hope that helps you. Little quick explanation. Back to the charts. SPY up here, NASDAQ's there, and VIX is right here. On 0 DTE, the price closes at 1600 Eastern Time, right at 1600. On zeros, on 0 DTEs spreads, they close at 1600. Yeah, and part of defense is just closing out the position. You know, everyone thinks, you know, you always hedge, but sometimes the best option is to close it out. Close it out. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't want to get too deep in that conversation. That was just a quick explanation. I highly encourage you. I've got 2 videos in my educational channel about spreads. Go take a look at them. But, you know, you could play very wide spreads and use a lot of collateral and use a lot of buying power up and get that thick credit, or you could play tight spreads like a 15-20 wide, but it's going to use less buying power, but you're going to get less credit. So Yeah, you can close them at any time. Just like you can scalp them if you want. You can close them anytime. Assignment, great question. Assignment. So that's why I trade SPX exclusively. SPX is a cash assignment. So at the end of the day, when the options expire, they're cash settled. So whatever cash needs to be exchanged is exchanged. If you trade SPY, there is a risk of assignment. So if you get assigned on SPY, you have to have the funds and cover the shares for how many contracts you have. So you could get assigned and faced with a large hit. Assignment is not really bad as long as you have the funds to cover the assignment. The problem with assignment is that people don't have the funds and they get a margin call. Or you can use a 25 or wider and get even further out the money for the same amount of credit. Yeah. Can you play spreads with a cash account? Negative. Negative. It's got to be a margin account. All right, I'm putting a limit order in to close out these spreads at 45 just to take risk off the table. Let's see if I can get a fill. There's a whole conversation to be had with spreads because they can bait and switch you. They can bait and switch you. Like right now, for example, my put credit spread is up about 58% right now. It's great. Everything's amazing. But what happens if this price decides to just blast down in a couple of minutes? My put credit spread will go from plus 58% to about negative 20%, 30%. All right, well, now I want to hold more. Well, what if the price keeps falling? All right, negative 50, negative 60, negative 100, negative 150, negative 200, negative 300, and it starts digging you in a hole. But I think, here you go. I think because my short leg is what, 44, what is it? 44, I don't even have it up here. 45.05 is my short leg. So way down here. So I think, oh, no big deal. I don't mind it going to 600% loss because as long as it closes above 45.05, I'm good to go. It'll decay into zero and I'll get 100% credit, no harm, no foul. The unrealized gains I don't care about. That's what people think. But the price keeps going. And then you get to the point where you're down 700, 800%, and then it blasts through your short leg at the last second in the last 5 minutes of the day, and you go to max loss. So that it baits and switch you. You got to be careful trading spreads, and you have to know how to defend them. Anyway, a little on-the-fly educational series there. All right, I close those babies out. Couldn't get 45 though. Let's see. I'm okay with my 46.75s for Friday. And that's precisely why I just closed out my PCSs because I don't want to be bait and switched. I'm not seeing bullish carry through. We do have CPI tomorrow, which is a very volatile event. So please make sure that you are not getting comfortable. There's no such, and a day before CPI, where CPI is expected to be 7.2, the word safe should not enter your vocabulary. So, which is why I just closed out my PCS. It's a nice little, what, 55% gain? I'll take it. I'm not saying we won't continue to climb. I'm saying I don't want to risk it. I do not want to clinch today. Nice, John. Well done. I missed the over-under. What is it? All right, there we go. Vet also posts what's called an over-under in the Tier 4 channel. It's what the floor traders use. So if you want to use a tool that the floor traders use, highly encourage it. Think of it as a daily magnet. The over-under line. Currently, no positions now. All positions are closed out. Regarding Tier 4, does veteran cover SPX or mostly others? He trades futures, and he trades MES. I don't. Two fly guy. Not saying it's not a bad idea. I just don't. What's the latest on the OM live conference plans? We keep hitting 2,000 Patreoners, but we keep rejecting. Like the last minute cancellations, because the end of the month cancellations that we have keeps bringing us back under 2,000. So once we close the month over 2,000, I will plan the live conference. That's my deal with y'all. Yeah, 2,000 is R4. That's right. We had a very rough November, December, which I expected. You know, when I started to see in January, when I started to see the market selling off, I knew it was going to roast a lot of people, and I tried my best to warn and help, but unfortunately, people are still going to get roasted. They keep thinking they got to buy the dip. So, and it played out. But now onwards and upwards. What is the link for veteran? Here, I'll uno momento, por favor. Let's see. There is the. Oh, I got to do that, don't I? I'm in theater mode. I don't want to be in theater mode. There's a link to Patreon right now. Go over to click on that, click on Tier 4, and read the details if you want to do it. Yeah, they are getting set for breakout. Hopefully, Simon. That's funny. That's funny. Y'all are silly. And then if you don't want to do T4, we do have 3 other options too. So check them out. Check out the Patreon website. Read. If you have any questions, yeah. By the way, great. Thanks, SL. The 10-year auction is in 2 hours. The bond auction 2 hours. So that'll inject some volatility. Yeah. So find a tier you want. If you have any questions about what we offer, you can shoot me a DM in Discord. The Discord is free to get in. You can shoot me a DM there. You can email me. You could ping me here on YouTube, whichever. So let me know. How large of an account should you have before writing premium? I would recommend 25 or greater. However, you can do it with under 25. You can do it with under 25. It's just you're going to be limited by PDT. Do I have a trial? I don't have a trial period yet. Every once in a while, I'll open up the Discord for free so everyone can kind of look in there and see what we offer. And we just did it, I think, 2 weeks ago. So we do it about once a month. We do it. All right, got some green. Let's see if we get a breakout here. We focus on SPY and SPX for the most part. I'd say 95% SPY, SPX. We're starting to tinker in some futures overnight to do some futures trading, but yeah, everything focused on SPY, SPX. I feel like sellers are letting prices go up, and they will hit again. Interest rates are going to rise soon, and the volume has been very low. Oh man. Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of pushing and pulling going into tomorrow. Tomorrow is a CPA data. That is the big data point everyone has been focused on. The inflation right now is the big item on the hot plate. So we've kind of been doing this upwards trajectory, sideways action, relatively tighter chop than what we've had the past month or so for CPI. Now, the market is starting to navigate the waters of inflation a little bit better. Obviously January was a smoke fest, but as we start to digest that data, we're starting to navigate a little bit better. The market hates unexpected news. If inflation is bad, obviously it's bad for the economy still, but it'll navigate it better when it's expected. When things start becoming unexpected, like Putin invades Ukraine suddenly overnight and the markets drop 300 points, or J Powell comes out and says, yeah, we're going to hike 7 times, or inflation suddenly spikes to 9% tomorrow. Like those type of the unexpected events is what really makes us tank. Oh man. All right. Is a straddle a good play? A straddle at close of business today would not be a terrible play, especially if we get some downside. If we get a big downward move, that's going to help. That's going to be a great play for a straddle. If we get a big upwards move, you're going to have to make a very big upwards move because obviously you're going to get IV crushed. However, what you have working for you is VIX is already back down in the 20. If we break down, especially if we break down into 19s today, if IV keeps coming on down, it could be a good play to do a straddle at the end of the day. Me personally, I'm not because I'm going to play futures. I'm going to trade over throughout the night. So. Do I still use a squeeze Momo? No. I use it on longer time frame. When I'm doing long analysis, yeah. But I don't do it on the intraday stuff. Currently looking at 45.80 calls, but no conviction on a play just yet. 45.80s. Take a look at 458s on SPY if that's what you're going to be doing. I didn't trade futures last night, but I do, and I will tonight. Now, here, let me show y'all something here. Let's see. All right. Here is the pre-market analysis that I posted this morning. If you see, the range of 45.95, 45.82 will be very difficult for buyers to push through. However, if they do, mid to low 4600s will be a high probability in the near future. So what I'm really highlighting here is right here, this 45.95, 45.82. We're approaching that level. That's why I'm hesitant to take calls, because that's going to be a very difficult level for the buyers to push through. So just be on guard if we do pop up and you look to take calls. We do have 30 minutes until Euro closes. Here's Euro right now. Here's a European price action. Climbing, climbing, climbing. Right there. UK's on top, Swiss in the middle, German on the bottom. We climbing up. It's the highest UK's been in quite a while. Quite a while. That is in the OM Analysis channel in Discord. I don't have any videos on trading futures yet, but I will. Who do you fly for? USCM Air Force. I fly for Air Force. Hey, got some green. NASDAQ looking very green. Last 30 minutes, this is the dirty 30 for Europe. In fact, that reminds me. That reminds me. I got to post this poll in the Discord. Red. There you go. All right, polls posted. NASDAQ looking green. VIX finally breaking out the lows here. Let's see if we can get a rally. There's 45.81 on SPX. We are entering that resistance zone. Top wick. Nice little top look right there. Look, SPX, let's take a look where they topped there. 45.82. So that's entering that zone that we talked about. It's right in that entering that zone. What did the analysis say? 45.82. Where did we bounce? 45.82. So we're entering that zone where we need to pay attention. I don't see us blasting through that zone very hard. It's gonna, if we do, it might kind of navigate it, trickle it, and then kind of pop later in the day. But it's not gonna go bleh. It ain't gonna do that. There's too much resistance there. It is bullish, Harold. That's a great observation. However, in today's situation, right here, there's a zone defense. Today, the market is playing zone defense. In this zone. And we're going to name that red. That's the problem, is that there is a zone of resistance right there. Options day. Trav, you're killing me. You're killing me. When you place an order, do you not prefer to modifying the price that it? Do you prefer not modifying the price? Yeah, I will modify it if I want to get in, for sure. But that like this morning, there was a very, very big, quick candle, and that would require me chasing. Like the candle had already made a majority of the move, so the risk reward was gone. It was too much risk, not enough reward once that big candle was made. So that whole thing is resistance. Yep, that's a resistance zone. There's a crap ton right there. How do you figure to identify that zone as resistance? I can't really get into that right now without switching off all my charts. It comes from all my personal charts. I do some personal charting that I was able to identify that particular zone. So it requires me burning some sage, reciting a couple of poem type things. Yeah, so. Facebook climbing. Crap ton is one of the. Yeah. Why would you not play puts on that resistance? Because just because that's a resistance doesn't mean we're going to reject and tank. It means we're going to bump, and then eventually, if the buyers exhaust, the sellers will refresh that position, and I will play puts on a flush. But right now, I'm just going to anticipate it kind of popping this area. Now remember, I'm still bullish on the day, especially when tech is doing this crap and this crap. So everything else is flat. Amazon's trying to come bullish here, but as long as there's a big hitter doing this kind of stuff, you have to remain bullish. When this starts to tank, when Facebook starts coming down, then yeah. But also you want to look at XLF. That's the other outlier today. If XLF starts to sell off, then yeah, we might have that. Made my first profit, 12%. Nice. Absolute. Well done. Welcome, welcome. You're getting close, Timothy. You're getting close. Everybody gets one. All right. So a little bit of red there. Remember the zone defense. This is Matumbo right there. Do I see enough trend on VIX yet? Yeah. Yep. This is a key level right there. So if we do, now on the contrary, I know I'm talking about rejections here. On the contrary, if I see this, if I see the buyers and the sellers come in and negotiate this quickly and the buyers pop it, then it'll be very bullish very quickly. We'll bust into the lower 4600s and test 4610.15. I don't see that happening, but if. That's funny. That's funny. I just gotta laugh at it. I'm sorry. Is tier 4 that the futures he plays RS? Well, it's not just futures. We use futures as kind of like as a litmus test, but we trade everything: SPY, SPX, futures, whichever. So you just signed up for my Patreon. Nice. Welcome, Dewey. All right, red candles here. $45.82 reject. SPY coming back down inside the morning range and down to V-WAP. All right, I'm going to give this till Euro open, and then I am going to call it a morning. Give it a chance to move. Do you teach how to defend PCS positions when it goes against your way in Tier 2? Yes, I do. We discuss things in Tier 2. We do discuss data strategies. Plus, you have Cody. He's in there as well. He's another theta trader. First time here, and I'm liking this. I'm glad you like it, Steven. Welcome, welcome. Let me know if you got any questions. Oh, yeah, I got to turn those back on. I'm bad. I forget y'all have my charts, too. There you go. All right, they're back on. What type of rating do I have as a pilot? Well, I mean, in the military, you don't get civilian ratings. Even it doesn't matter if you've got 5,000 hours. Although once you're done, you can apply for those type of things. But I've got a private and a instrument. Do I use fibs with my SPX? Not anymore. Occasionally I'll plot them just to just kind of see how they line up there, but I don't focus too much on fibs anymore. What do you think would happen if CPI did was bad? It depends how bad. If we're talking, if it comes in like 8 or 9, 4,100, 4,200 at least. 11 years, Daniel. Nice, Jeff. Yeah, being a private pilot license is fantastic. It's an incredible, incredible hobby. Very expensive, but incredible. John. Oh, hey, look at this red candle. Careful. Warning. Warning. Return to Energizer. So careful there. We rejected that upper level there. Now right back inside. Let's see how we negotiate VWAP. That's why I wasn't taking calls. All right, John, go over into OM analysis. If you just did it, you may have to close out your Discord and restart it. It should automatically give you the roles. Go down, you'll see OM analysis. Click on that. That's where you'll find the SR levels and the daily market analysis. Red candles. This is going into European close. Oh, thanks, Steven. Appreciate that. Laser tag reference. Somebody actually caught that? Wow. That's like 90s. I didn't think anybody was going to catch that. I was like, all right, well. CPI will be 0830 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. So 7:30 Central, which obviously is pre-market hours. So that's why I'll be trading SPX. I'm not sure, Daniel. I don't trade patterns. But look, we did bounce off VWAP here. We rejected right off 45.82 on SPX. Which, by the way, leads me to believe, if you are new to the channel and you want to get notifications when I post stuff in the OM analysis channel, head to the OM notifications channel and vote for the little brain emoji. That'll get you access to the scholars role, and I'll be able to. You'll get notifications when I post that stuff. It won't be plays; it's analysis. So if you want to get notifications for analysis, head over there and vote for the brain emoji. Thanks, John. Yep, I'll be trading a yes. Correct. You're good, Teresa. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. Do I still use the crossover with the 8 and 21? Not really. I'll use it kind of as a backup confirmation, but for the most part, no. I trade off my pivots, I trade off Vet's ranges, his information, and I trade off of VWAP. Because VWAP, although yes is a line, it's one that works because everyone uses it. Yep, SR level is correct. What do you think about the strangle strategy, buying calls puts in the morning for 132? I'm sorry, for 32, and selling each one reaches 6 and cutting the losing position for total profit. It sounds good. As long as you can manage that position, yeah, for sure. Any strategy like that that's well thought out, I have no problem with it. I like it. Why don't you trade patterns? Because it's too subjective. Too subjective. Some people say a head and shoulders. Some people say a, I don't know. I can make up some funny names, but it's all subjective. If you go through it, like go to Twitter and type in the little SPY ticker in Twitter, and you go through the little post, it's like half the people see a bearish setup, half the other people say a bullish pattern, half the people are indecisive, it's ridiculous. So pattern charting to me is like reading tea leaves. It's way too subjective. I like math. I like numbers. Data doesn't lie. Patterns are too subjective. Y'all know what I'm saying. Y'all know what I'm saying. I do love some sushi though. I do love some sushi. If I had to pick one place in the world to live purely based on the food, it would probably be Japan. I love Japanese food. Love it. Real Japanese food. Is there material on your current up-to-date strategies? Yeah, most of the YouTube videos I've released in the past 6 months are up-to-date. One of my favorite meals is I'll go down to Fresh Market and I'll get their sashimi tuna steaks and I'll make my own sashimi tuna bowls. So I make some rice and then I make my own little yum yum sauce out of what's it called? The Japanese mayonnaise. I forget what it's called. Just slipped my brain. But I'll make that. Good stuff. High protein, low fat. QPAT. Yeah, there you go. That's it. No MACD and RSI. I use those for longer term trades. When I'm doing charting for 3 months to a year, I'll use those. But in terms of day trades, I don't because they're really no bueno. What's my ethnicity? My dad's side of the family was all from Italy. My grandmother was from Puerto Rico. My grandfather was from Naples. My dad was from New York. My mom's side of the family is all German. So I'm like a mutt. I've got a lot of different backgrounds in me. But I live in the South, though. I live way down here in the South. So I lived in the deep South since I was 4 years old. So I grew up eating Italian. Yep, all my Thanksgivings were Italian food. Lasagnas, sausage and onions, peppers and onions, all that stuff. I do love Mexican food. In fact, I made what is it called? Birria tacos, Birria. I don't have the tongue roll, but yeah, I made those tacos this weekend. Unbelievable. Although I don't know if that's a Mexican dish, but I know it's that type of style of food. Delicious. Anyway, I know we're getting off on a tangent here. I'm going to give it 10 more minutes for this market to move, and then I'm going to hop off. When we start talking about food, I know the market's dead. So I love Thai food. In fact, I introduced my wife to Thai food the past year. One of my favorite things in the world is Thai food. We have a Thai restaurant down the road. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Living in North Italy at the moment. Nicely done. Cool. I'd love to go out there. I've never been to Italy, so I would love to go out there. One thing I really want to do is go to Maine and have a food vacation. I want to do nothing except sit there, look at the ocean, and eat as many lobsters as they could fit on one plate. That's what I want to do. Just experience birria. So good. Yeah, it's delicious. It's amazing. I love it. I've ever been to Oklahoma on purpose. Never on a personal trip. Always with military. Oh, good barbecue. I don't know, man. I don't know if you caught my wife's post down on the food channel, but I'm a bit of a cook myself. So I've got a whole smoking setup in the back, and that's why I'm waiting for summer and spring to come, man, because I love that season. So yeah, I can hold my own with some barbecue. Yep, right now it's a wait and see day. That's right, Steven. That's why we're talking about food. I'm sorry, I know it's not trading stuff, but well, maybe we can make a play here in the afternoon. Am I War Eagle? No, I am a volunteer fan. Although I will say, Lane Kiffin ruined us. Lane Kiffin ruined us. Ever since 2005, Lane Kiffin came in and and then left. I mean, that was like the downhill of Tennessee since then, of the Volunteers. I will come back on live later if we do have some volatility. If we got some movement. I don't want to come back on just for this. Plus, I need to get that YouTube video released. I got to edit it and go back out and get that posted. Yep, that's what I want to do right there. I want that fresh lobster. Lobster. I signed up for your Discord, but it's not allowing me access. All right, I'll need to get. I'll take a look. Let me see. Sometimes it happens, but make sure you close out your Discord app and then restart it. Vol here, been there next week. Nice, nice. Am I a Memphis guy? No. Uh-uh. Although I have been to Rendezvous in Memphis. If you ever been to Memphis, check out Rendezvous. Fantastic barbecue joint. Dry rub ribs. Dry rub. Yeah, I said that right. I was enjoying your stream until you mentioned the Vols. Hey, you got to cut me some slack. It's not like I'm talking about Bama. The Vols have gotten destroyed for what, 15 years straight. Any plays before Euro close? Nope, I'm waiting. I'm going to wait for the break. I've got my one PCS I closed. I'm good to go. I haven't tried that one, Marika. I haven't tried that one. I'm taking a put. I'm going to do February 11th because I'm not sure, but I'm taking a put here for the close. Let's see. 45.70s. February 11th, 45.70s. And let's see here. Currently 27.80, 27.90. All right. 27.90 right there. I'm doing SPX. You can trade SPY if you want. And oh man, let's see what we got. I think when we come back up and test this again is when I'm really going to look at entering here. So we'll see. We'll see. We will see. Correct, Steven. It's correct. And options and futures. On tier 4, is there a live options trading like you are doing here? And remember, we just started tier 4, so we're kind of working out some kinks. But yeah, Veteran will be doing a voice channel for tier 4, just like what we're doing here. All right, we'll see. Yeah, I'm going to wait on R3 test. But here's the thing, though. The reason why I'm thinking puts is we've got this big range that we have to negotiate, and we're pinging off of it. We've got European close here. Euro's not looking good. They kind of had this little sell-off into close. We've got 2 minutes left. We might have a relief bounce after close, after the seller's taking us down. But we'll see. We'll see. Thoughts on the impact of a higher than expected CPI? Well, CPI is already, you think, what, 7.3 expected? If we come in at 8 or 9%, I mean, we're talking 1970 style levels. I think we'll hit 4,200 quicker than your head can spin. How much correlation do other markets have on ours? I would say at their key, like open and close, it's got a lot. The inner chop stuff, I think they correlate. Let me think. Let me put it this way. I think our markets have more effect on theirs than theirs do on ours, except around the opening and closing times. So like right now, 10:30 Central, 11:30 Eastern time. I've got terrible metaphors. I apologize, Everton. It's like that dude in what's that movie? Boondock Saints. He's always messing up the metaphors and stuff. Yeah. If CPI data comes in expected or better, we'll probably go up. If it comes in way better, I mean 4,700. Country road, take me home. Y'all are funny. I mean, anybody who does grocery shopping, like I do the grocery shopping of the family. I'm like the stay-at-home dad type guy because I work nights and I trade during the day. So like I do grocery shopping. I've seen the prices go way up in the past year. Crazy amount. Milk, eggs, nuts. I almost want to put a chicken in the office here to give me some eggs. I know it's stuck in my head. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, y'all. Well, I am going to call that a morning. We've talked a lot about some strategy. We've talked a lot about credit spreads. We talked a lot about food. It's been a great morning. I always love good conversations about food. That's why I don't have a six-pack right now, because I love eating as much as I work out. So I will catch you all hopefully later. I hope the market does pick up, especially around the bond auction time. Maybe we can get a little lunch, come back, and we will throw in some plays. Yes, I'm still eyeing puts short term, Matt. Just a little distinction. I'm eyeing puts short term, which means the next 20, 30 minutes. After that, I'm still of the opinion that we're going to at least test the upper resistance. So, yeah, hopefully we can get some volatility. We'll pop back in. I'll notify everybody if I plan on coming back in the stream. If not, y'all play safe. Don't fight the chop. There's always tomorrow, especially with the volatility coming in. Don't blow up your account on playing chop. I will see you all later. Y'all take it easy. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm out.